You are listening to episode 24 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you are created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Thienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Hi, sweet moms. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. I really mean that. I love that you found the Peaceful Mind Podcast, and I hope you enjoy each episode. And if you're new, maybe go back and listen, because I am trying to kind of build on the week before, or at least just have this robust kind of choice to hit where you may be needing in the stage of motherhood that you're in right now. And today is no exception. I am glad you are here and appreciate that you will share and then rate or review. Drop me a message. Let me know if this particular podcast hit you at the right time. I always kind of go in thinking of maybe one particular mom who, just asking myself, what is she facing right now and what might she need to hear? And this weekend kind of prompted today's episode. I had already had an idea for it and have a special extra bonus at the end that I needed to get permission from my friend to be able to use. So stay tuned for that. But it kind of drove home that this was definitely an episode I needed to make when this weekend I watched some home videos of my children when they were smaller. And they were all gathered around. We kind of got together by the fire. My husband was trying to go through some old videos, and we discovered some that we have never seen before. So that was so fun. So as we're on the couch and we are going back to the times when I did not work outside the home or have an extra part-time job. This was when I was in the trenches. I decided to be a stay-at-home mom and was for about the first 4 years of my kid's life. Right now, I have two teenagers that are 16 and a half, twin girls. And then my son is 13, going to be 14 in just a couple months. So I am in this stage right now where I have 3 teenagers. So a lot of you are listening are right there with me, but also a lot are still in those early days. And then there are some who, the kids are out of the house already and moving on. Everything that I offer you in the Peaceful Mind Podcast is able to be applied at any stage of motherhood. So today I'm talking about the thought or the mental phrase that comes and goes during any stage of motherhood, which is the phrase, I'm just a mom. Or if you when you didn't have kids, you were thinking, I just want to be a mom. And those that have chosen at this time to be a stay-at-home mom, the idea of just being a mom comes in when we're overwhelmed with so much to do, or else you might have this little longing in your heart for something else to come along, to feel that you're kind of like your old self again before you had to focus all of your time on raising kids. And then there's those working moms and outside the home that, sometimes that part is full of stress or, just has you thinking, oh, I just wish I could just be at home and be just a mom. And then there's the moms who are working, and it totally is like, I'm so glad I'm not, quote, just a mom. And every time I say this, just a mom, you can't see me, you can only hear me, but it's pretty much I'm doing the hand air quotes in the air. Because this word just, it kind of has this like connotation of belittling, right? It's when we add just to anything, it's just like it belittles it. That's all I can say, is it kind of takes the meaning and just sort of chops it down, narrows that focus. So how many of you out there have wrestled with this before? This, I'm just a mom. I remember the time before having kids, but started looking at the possibilities. And after deciding, yes, we wanted to have some, I would tell myself, I just want to be a mom. Like, I know I did. I really wanted to be a mom. And then I became one. And then somewhere in the crazy, busy, overwhelmed, multitasking, hustle and bustle of motherhood, I caught myself saying like, oh, I'm just a mom. I wish I was doing something else. Maybe when someone asks you what you do, like what do you do for a living or for a job, you've stated, I'm a stay-at-home mom, or I'm just a mom right now. You could have related to yourself in a different way. And that is the importance of this phrase, is how are you using it? Are you using it against yourself, or are you using it as like you're totally taking ownership that that's where you are right now in life, that you've decided that this is what you wanted and this is what you are, and you own that. So getting back to my reference about watching the home videos, and now that I have teenagers, so as we were watching it, this was a time when the girls were in diapers still. The video showed them in their room. It was the nighttime routine, and my husband was recording, and I think that I wasn't there in the room at first, but then came later. But I just watched how, they were doing their routine and getting their books read to them. And there was something missing in the room. So we were making kind of a game out of it, or my husband was, to try and find it. And so the girls were watching how they were when they were younger and all that it was taking, to do the nighttime routine. And then we saw in the next clip of them at their soccer game, and my son at his first soccer game, and he was really small. And then we had a clip of where it was bath time, where all three of them were in the bath, in the suds and the soap. And then we were at the zoo. It was just bouncing back to so much like of all that we do as mom with young kids. We forget, like sometimes when we're in the midst of it, we're not reminding how much that it takes to be a mom and all that we are doing for them, and that we chose it and really wanted to. And now that we're in the midst of it, we can kind of forget that is like the wonderfulness is just being in the mess of it sometimes. Sometimes it's the mundane of it. But I'm doing this podcast so I can help you moms have more peace about it all. And I want to speak to the mom right now who's thinking, I'm just a mom, or I'm just a mom and I feel a pull to do something else. And I just want you to notice that it's a thought. It's a way that you're deciding to kind of label yourself. But is that serving you the way you are kind of, quote, saying just, and like I said before, belittling yourself, that that's all it is, instead of looking and focusing at the amazing wonderfulness, the vocation that God has bestowed on you, and believing that whatever stage you are in now, that it is wonderful, that it is not a just, but it is exactly like you are embodying all that it is to be a mom. The good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the hard, the easy. So when my children kind of saw all, like we watched the video and they watched all that I was involved in and everything that was going on in their lives, they kind of sparked and said, Mom, were you just a mom at this point? And that, when I heard them ask me that, and then also knew that I had wanted to do a podcast about this subject, it just kind of just solidified at home that I could answer them in a way like, yes, at the time, that point of life when I had all three of you and you were under the age of 5, I chose to be, quote, just a mom. And now I am in a place where I chose that I wanted to do something outside of the home. I mean, I've had several jobs like this, but even some the jobs that I had that were so kind of like overwhelming and stressful and, really just had me not showing up as the best mom I wanted to be, I was at that job thinking, oh, I wish I could just be a mom right now. And, and ironically, I can say that I am right now I have an outside of the home job, not literally because of the times I'm in home, but I'm in my house, but working this job. And there isn't any kind of linear divide. It's like, I know that I love what I'm doing. And at this point and stage in motherhood, I get to be a mom and I have something else going on right now. And it just fluctuates in how I feel about it all, whether you're working or not working. This isn't kind of like a podcast to debate which one is best or better. We are all different. We are all in our own circumstances, our own family dynamics, and all of our decisions on whether we work or not work, or view ourselves as just a mom, or I get to be a mom. I just want to offer that if you are choosing at this point to have this feeling, if you're in just the midst of the more busy, heavier part of mothering, and have lots of things going on and juggling in the air, I want you to know that you have a choice on how you're looking at your motherhood, how you're speaking to yourself, how you are judging what your vocation is at this point. And I just want to offer that if you want to feel peace about it, then maybe you want to come and look at it differently. Look at the phrase of what you're telling yourself, that you are just a mom. Is that useful to you? Is that having you showing up fully, like if for your children, for your spouse, for your family, for yourself? And are you moving towards being the mom you want to be, or perhaps the mom that has, another vocation that they're doing as well? It's like, take a look at what stage of motherhood you're in right now and whatever your workload is, and make a decision to love how you talk about it. When someone asks you what you do, like, what is it that you can say to them that really is just gives you confidence and strength and comfort, and know that you are the one in whatever situation that you're in. Like, there's nothing that we have to do, but we are choosing to do it. As moms, we are choosing to either, just be a mom at this moment, or a mom who does other things as well. All of it is up for grabs for your mind and then ultimately your heart to decide on how you want to look at it. To help you with this, I am now going to read a poem written by my beautiful friend Emily McDermott that is entitled Just a Mom. And I hope that if this episode reaches just one mom today who's kind of feeling like she's just a mom, that this poem will give you some perspective and inspiration and just a little bit of a shift in how we look at it and talk about it. Here's the poem. I'm just a mom, I say. I'm just a mom who spends her days making snacks, cleaning crumbs, wiping faces, noses, bums, and tear-stained cheeks still wet. It never ends. And yet, I'm just a mom, you see. Shouldn't that be enough for me? Some days it just doesn't seem that I am worthy of a dream, besides the one that's been fulfilled to be a mom. And still, lights turned out, foreheads kissed, quiet settles like a mist. A longing rises from the deep as I lay me down to sleep. Quietly knocking on my door, it whispers, "You are more." I wake up with eyes still bleary, body tired, spirit weary. The day starts and I strain to hear the whispering voice that was so clear, telling me I'll be me again. That may be true, but when? It's funny how the days will pass, the hours drag on, the weeks fly past. I try to, but I can't recall the details of when they were small. Someday they'll let go of my hand, but now I understand that my life may seem ordinary, with heavy burdens to be carried, but in times of joy as well as pain, there's a sacredness in the mundane. It's a truth I deeply know when I slow down and let go of the weight of others' expectations, shoulds and guilt and obligation, feeling less than, always comparing my life to what everyone else is sharing. Above all, I know I must let go of the word just. I am a mom, a friend, and wife. I choose to show up in my life. I use the gifts from my Creator because I was meant for something greater. I'm clear on my direction and embrace my imperfections. I am a mom, I say. I am a mom who spends her days grateful for what I know I'll miss. One more story, one more kiss. The love and grace that I receive is the legacy that I leave. Oh, so perfectly said. I hope you all know that you are never just a mom, but that you are just a mom and so much more at the same time. Thank you to Emily for allowing me to share your words, which was what I wanted to talk to you all about today, but her poem said it so succinctly and, of course, poetically. Emily is also a mom of young kids. She's a blogger. In addition to her poetry, plus she has plans to launch a course for moms in the near future and offers a free guide to simple living. So all the links to this information about Emily and what she offers can be found in the show notes, so be sure to check her out there. And don't forget that if you are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, anxious about any challenges or decisions you are currently facing in your mom life, let's talk. you can sign up for a free discovery call with me. Tell me where you are, where you want to be, and have a faith-based life coach to help you get past any roadblocks. The link to my calendar to schedule a day and time that works for you is found in the show notes as well. To all you moms listening, I love you. You are amazing, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? To really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to DanielleThienel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.